Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are gonna be watching over what is JWT, which stands for JSON Web Token, and what is the basic usage of JSON Web Token under our application of ShopX, the e-commerce app. So without any further ado, let's get started. So if you have seen my previous tutorials, we have created a following type ORM model, which has the following entity of user, and also we have got a following repository of our user repository, which contains all of the methods that we are going to be performing over our type ORM. So if you haven't seen my previous tutorial, kindly watch it. You will be more distinct and clear with what we are going to do today. Alright, first thing first, what we are going to be doing is opening our terminal just like this from here. And onto our terminal, we need to install JSON Web Token under our project as well. And so for that purpose, you should be writing the following command of npm install JSON Web Token. Press enter just like this. Alright, so once we have got our JSON Web Token, we are good to go. So to make the usage of JSON Web Token under our application, let's take an example of creating a new user. So by far now, here what we are doing is creating a new instance of a user, which is a user model, and we are assigning some values from our postman over username, user email, and also user password. And so by so, we are saving the instance of the user under our type ORM, which is connected with Postgres. But now what we are going to be doing is take the user ID of the user which is saved under our entire database. Now if I go under my postman, and here if I send a get request or my local host, alright, first thing first, let me run my server up and ready. So for that purpose, you should be writing npm run dev, press enter. Alright, why it is taking so time, let's go back, and here it is okay. It should be up and ready. Cool, so our server is rocking at 8080. So now if I move under my postman and send a get request over this home page, and if I press send, I will be getting all of the following data about the following user ID, that is the user ID of the user, his username, email, and password as well. So now what we are going to be doing is taking the user ID of the particular user through which we are submitting all of our data. So for that purpose, we should be going back under our repository, and under this, once we have submitted all of our data, I will be creating a new variable. Let's say let user ID should be equal to under await state, and here I will be simply saying this dot create query builder, just like as we have seen in our previous tutorial. And if you have not seen that, kindly watch that, so you will be more distinct and clear with what the thing are we doing today. So once we have gotten the following query under our user table, I will be selecting a particular user ID. So for that purpose, I should be writing here user dot ID, and the following ID is referring to the following ID of this side, which is 3, 1, and accordingly. So once we have got the following user ID, what I am going to be doing is add a where condition, that is a where phrase, and under my where phrase I will be adding here user dot email should be equal to the user email that we have submitted so far. So here let's query the following thing, and under this let's add a query, and onto my value of our key of query I will be adding here user email, just like this. Format document first, and once we have got our entire thing, I will be simply getting a single value. So for that purpose, I will be writing here get 1, just like this. And once we have got our user ID to be the following condition, I will be first of all console logging my entire user ID. So for that purpose, let's console log our user ID. And now I will be simply sending the following user ID instead of entire user data. So for that purpose, let's create a new user under our database. So for that purpose, we should be sending here a post request, not a get request. So here let's add a path of add, just like this, and we should be having this thing as well. Cool, so I will be copying the following thing here and pasting it all here. Let's beautify it, and here instead of Jumbo, let's add a new username of Mowgli, just like this, why not? And also let's have a different email to it, and also its password. And now let's add the following thing under post request. Alright, we are getting a syntax error, so let's go back. Alright, so here it should be user email, not email, cause the email does not exist under our entire thing. So let's reload our entire application once. Cool, so now let's try sending it out. Cool, so we have got a duplicate key error cause the user is already submitted under our entire database. So now what I'm gonna be doing is creating a new user. Let's say Jiggle, why not? Add this thing here and also this thing here. Let's send it out. Cool, so now you can see we will be getting a following ID, cause we are now simply fetching up the particular ID of the user who had recently made a new account. So once we have got our entire new ID, Instead of console logging the new ID, we can add our JSON Web Token thing under it. So first thing first, what I'm gonna be doing is creating a new token. Let's say a variable, a token. And for using JWT, first of all, we need to import it. So for that purpose, here you should be writing import JWT from JSON Web Token, just like this. Now here you are getting the following error cause we need to install JSON Web Token for a TypeScript thing as well. So for that purpose, let's do one thing, stop our entire process, clear it once. And here let's add the following command of installing JSON Web Token for under a types thing under developer dependencies. Let's wait for it. Cool, so this error will be gone in no time. Cool, so error is gone. So now what I'm gonna be doing is going down here, and here the following token shall be under await state, and here I should be writing JWT, and after pressing dot over the following method, you should be getting 3 different methods of decode, sign and verify. So first thing first, we need to simply sign under our entire JWT token. So first of all, our JWT shall be requiring here a payload. Now the payload is going to be a unique UID of a particular user that we need to sign in. And for this purpose, I will be adding here an ID to be the following user ID under my payload. So I can copy the following user ID and paste it here. After having the following payload, I should be also requiring here a secret or private key. So for secret and private key, I should be adding here any sort of key. Let's say my key. You should have any sort of thing here. And after this, it shall be also requiring here some options. And under option, you should be adding here an option of expiry date of a particular token. So here I should be writing here a following option of expires in, and here I should be writing here expires in a single day, that is number of seconds in a day. Just like this, we can remove the wait state from here, we don't need it. So once we have got our entire token, first of all let's console log the token, why not? And here let's not console log our user UID, we don't need this. So once we have console logged our entire token, instead of sending the user ID, we can send some different sort of data to our response under our post request. So first of all, I should be adding here authentication, not odd but authentication is true, that is the user is authenticated. And after that, I should be also sending here a token which stands for token that we have just deployed here, just like this. Format document first. So now let's run our following server one more time. Alright, the server is rocking at 8080. Let's go back, and here let's say a new user of Tommy. Let's copy this thing, paste it here, and also we should be having a different email. Now simply press send button. Now as you can see, we are getting a following value of authentication to be true, and also we are getting the following big thick token which is a JSON Web Token. Now the following JSON Web Token shall be helping us in doing certain type of things under our application. Now for instance, if the user is logged in under our application, and unfortunately if his application crashes or he just exits out of our entire application, with the help of the particular JSON Web Token, that is a following token, he can stay logged in, that is the user data can be persisted. Now we can also use the following JSON Web Token for performing certain operations, just like in case we are fetching all of our data from our database over a shopping thing. In this case, the user shall be required to provide the following token. Unless the following token is not verified, all of the data from our database shall not be displayed on a screen. That's the basic usage of JWT for simply authenticating the user through tokens. So once we have learned how to send JWTs, that is JSON Web Token, to the user, let's try approaching the following JSON Web Token, that is use the verify thing. So for that purpose, let's take an example in fetching all of the users. So here under a fetching all of the users, what we can really do is go at the bottom, and here first of all I will be saying a constant token, that is a bearer token. So let's say B token, and the following bearer token shall be equal to request.headers. Under the headers, we should be having the value of authorization. So here let's add the value of authorization, and after that I will be simply adding here a condition. If the following type of my bearer token is not equal to undefined, here let's have the value of undefined. We shall be performing certain operations. So for that purpose, let's copy the following try catch block from here and paste it here, just like this. And here under our try catch block, first of all we can be simply saying one thing. Alright, we don't need the following user email here, let's remove it off. Cool. So here under my following if condition, I will be saying request.token should be equal to my B token. just like this. And for using this thing, you should be having a parameter of any to our request, just like this. So once we have got our request.token is equal to the following bearer token that we will be receiving from our headers, we can add the following condition of jwt.verify, just like this. And under a verify, first of all, it shall be requiring 3 different arguments. If you hover over it, it shall be requiring a token, a secret or public key, and also all the options. Now first of all, for the token, I will be adding here a token to be request.token, just like this. And under secret key, it should be requiring a secret key that we have provided here, that is our my key. So I can copy my following my key here and paste it here, just like this. And once we have done this, we should be getting a callback from our JWT verify method. And under my callback, first of all, I should be having an error which should be under a type of any, and also you should be receiving some authentication data which shall be under type of any as well. So let's expand the following method here. And under our following method, first of all, if we will be getting any error, we will be simply sending the response to be the following error, just like this. And else, that is under else block, we will be simply approaching the following method that we have done so far. So let's paste the following thing here, and let's remove our try block. Format document first. So here what the thing is happening here is, first of all, we are getting a bearer token, that is B token, from our headers. Now let me show you the headers that we will be getting. So under your postman, you should be moving under headers, and under headers, under the following key and value, we should be pasting here an authorization and also a bearer token. And likewise, once we have got the following bearer token from our authorization, if the following type of bearer token is not undefined, that is if the following thing is considerable, we should be simply approaching the following request token should be equal to a bearer token. And once we have done this thing, we should be using the method of jwt.verify. This thing takes 3 different arguments. First of all, the token from our authorization tab, the secret ID that we have been providing so far, and also a callback function. So under our callback function, first of all, we are getting the following error, that is if we get an error, we should be simply sending the following error to our REST API. Else we are simply sending all of the data from our users that we have been measured of our fetch user method. So once we have done this, let's try it out. So for trying it out, let's go back, and here let's go under body, and here I will be copying my following entire token thing, and let's go here and add authorization, just like this. And under my value, I will be pasting my entire JSON web token, just like this. And here I should be removing this thing off and adding a get request here. Let's remove everything off from here as well. So now once we have pasted our following token under authorization, first of all, let's check whether our server is up and running or not. Let's open it up. Cool, our server is rocking. So now, alright, where it went. So now if I send a get request, I will be getting all of my data back, because we are approaching a considerable JSON web token which is a valid one. And now if I uncheck my authorization and send a get request, I will be getting the following error that JWT must be provided, just like this. Also in the case if we have got a JSON web token, and here let's remove 8 from this side and send a get request, we will be getting the following message that the name of JSON web token error happened, and also we are getting an error of invalid signature. Easy as that. Let's do one thing, add an 8 here and send a get request, and here we will be getting all of our data back because we have been providing here a valid JSON web token. So this was a basic usage of what is JSON web token, that is JSON web token, and how you shall be using JSON web token under your application. Easy as that. So now let's do one thing, go back, and here let's add a new user. So for adding that user, under a username, let's say a new username of Giselle. Let's copy the following thing, paste here, and also instead of Tommy, send it here. Let's send a get request. Alright, let's send a post request, not a get one. Let's add a user. Cool, so we have got our entire token. Let's copy it up from here. Go under our headers. Let's go here. And instead of this token, let's add the current token and add a get request. Cool, let's send a get request. Cool, so now we are getting all of our data back because we have been approaching a valid web token. And if I remove the S from this side and send a get request, I will be getting an error because the following token is not defined. Easy as that. And now after adding S, let's send a get request and we will be getting our data back. So this is a magic of JSON web token, that we should be authorizing our entire user with the help of this token. And the following token of JSON Web Token shall be expiring in a 1 day. Now feel free to manage your JSON Web Tokens data according to you. That is example of 60 seconds, 2 days, 10 hours or 7 days accordingly. So these are the basic thing over what is JSON Web Token, and if we check our entire list under our Notion, we have completed what is JWT and basic usage of JWT. So in the next tutorial, we shall be combining our JWT with TypeORM and check a login method over TypeORM as well. So till then, if you have loved this tutorial, please hit that like button. It will be awesome. So please hit it, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good day. Goodbye.